Welcome to Family Peace Initiative's Curriculum Blips. In this podcast, we provide fast and easy resources for facilitators using the FPI suite of curricula to help you prepare before stepping into a group room. Whether you're brand new to BIP facilitation or using drive time to refresh yourself on familiar concepts, these blips are intended to help you get in the right frame of mind as you head into group. You'll hear from seasoned staff and FPI curricula authors on the key concepts and goals of each lesson, as well as what to expect from group members in these conversations. Today we're starting Section 3 on personal introspection with the two-chair exercise. Steve Howley, co-founder and co-director of the Family Peace Initiative, guides us through what to expect in the first week of this section when walking group members through this experiential exercise. Let's hear from Steve.
Section 3 of the Family Peace Initiative Professional Facilitators Guide is just loaded with opportunities and doorways to pursue an internal focused conversation. I really get excited when this section of the curriculum comes rolling around because it starts out with the two-chair exercise. It starts out with inviting people to a space of vulnerability where we're talking about, what you hide, what you try to make sure that people see or believe or know about you. And then we're asking people to just put their fingers on, what do I know that I'm hiding from others when I go about my daily life? I would say to make the two-chair exercise effective, which is the first week of Section 3, the staging and the leading by example are just important. Staging and validating that it is normal for all of us to walk into situations and show what we want people to see and go out of our way to hide the things that we don't want people to know. As the leader of the room, as the facilitator, you want to be able to stage this effectively. I can tell you 5 years ago, we thought that staging this would take, 20 or 30 minutes to go through this whole first date exercise. And now we're kind of thinking, we're losing time that is better spent actually doing the process. And so we're trying to stage this in maybe 5 to 10 minutes of going into a job interview regarding a job that you really want. What do you want people to see about you? And under no circumstances do you want people to see about you in that first interview? Just normalizing through conversation that we're hiding and showing people certain aspects of ourselves, just normalizing this whole conversation. And then we put the two chairs up in the front of the room, and the facilitator would just go first and just explain, so this is what we want to do. One chair represents the part of myself that I want people to see, that I go out of my way to show to others. And the other chair is the things that I tend to hide. And I encourage facilitators to recognize that in that second chair, to pursue some vulnerability, pursue a couple of items in that list that feel risky to you. For me, I don't like talking about my diabetes, and I talk about the fears that I have regarding that disease over time and what it's like for me and how important it is for me, or psychologically relevant, to try to hide that, deny that, pretend it's not there, and hide it from others. And so there's plenty of ways that you can do this, but I encourage facilitators to really take a risk at that spot because the group members will follow suit. Once the group members see how the vulnerability is accessed and that the room is safe, they'll be willing to pursue it as well. I would say that, sometimes we're lucky enough to get this whole process done in one group class, and that's a win. And other times, it may take 2 classes in order to get everybody through the process. I would add that there's sometimes that group members will not participate. They will pass. And we train people in our trainings, how do you work with people who decide to pass? We might allow them to stay, in the group circle and just ask them questions of, if you could put your finger on what's at risk for you and what do you perceive as the danger to participate in this particular activity. But allowing people to pass without pushing back on them or trying to encourage, coerce, force them to engage in the activity is really important as far as building and continuing to build the safety in the room. And so if somebody passes, I would just, at some point, I would just say, hey, can I ask you a question? Would it be okay? What do you think is the risk for you to go ahead and participate? What's the danger? And once they're getting to the danger, they're doing some work. They are in an internal focused conversation, and that's where we want them to be. And that in and of itself is a win. Always when they're done with the activity, whenever someone's done, there's the three questions, right? There is, how are you feeling right now? You want people to notice what's going on in their body. What is that feeling mostly about? If someone says, wow, I feel kind of scared, it's like, what's that mostly about? And they might say, well, I'm worried about what other people are thinking about me. Thanks, I appreciate that. And then is there anything else you want to say? And then I ask people, the point of this activity is, what's the danger? Why do we spend so much energy hiding parts of ourselves in certain situations? What is the risk? If this information got out, what do we believe might happen to us? Common answers are, I'll get judged, I'll be criticized, I'll be rejected, someone can use it to hurt me, those kind of things. And if it's true, right, if those risks are true, then it makes perfect sense to hide those things, right? It makes sense. If I'm at risk of being hurt, then I should hide things that would protect me. But maybe that risk isn't there. Maybe it's a figment of my imagination. Maybe it was true years ago, but it's no longer true anymore. And what would happen if I didn't have to worry about hiding these things from me? If I could just live my life being fully seen, then what would that create for me? So those are some thoughts on the 2-chair exercise. I get excited with it. Many times it's one of the highlights for the group members when they talk about impactful experiences in the group. And I would encourage you to be patient and be kind, but also allow the participants to share just what they're ready to share and not get into too much of trying to invite more information out of them. Let them control their own destiny. Good luck with that. Let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear what your experiences are like.
Thanks for preparing for your group with us today. If you have questions, stucks, or if there's a section of the curriculum you'd like to hear us explore in more detail, we'd love to hear from you. Email us at reception@familypeaceinitiative.com or submit a contact form on our website. Family Peace Initiative, working to serve our clients and community with compassion, integrity, and expertise.